Melissa Jefferson is the reigning American champion in the 100-meter dash, but you would barely know that listening to track and field media in 2023. And she shocked the world when she did it, running as fast as 10:69 wind assisted to take the crown. It all happened just weeks after finishing her collegiate track season, where she didn't even win a medal at the NCAA Championships outdoors. Now she's a World Championship finalist and officially a professional, so it doesn't make much sense that all eyes appear to be on other American women when it comes to the hopes of winning a World Championship title. But the truth is that nobody saw Melissa Jefferson coming, not even the college track recruiters, because she was never supposed to be this good. So the question is legitimate. Is she a one-hit wonder? Because the talent that she displayed in 2022 suggests that she actually has what it takes to win the World Championship. Even though she's always been the underdog for as long as we've known her, she's also made it a habit of proving the doubters wrong. And this is why. First things first, Melissa Jefferson ran track in college for Coastal Carolina University. And I'm willing to bet you probably can't tell me which state they're from, and you probably can't tell me their mascot. For the record, the answers are South Carolina and the Chanticleers. And they're the reason why most track and field fans haven't heard of them. It's because they're not that good. Coastal Carolina competes in the Sun Belt Conference, and if it weren't for Melissa Jefferson, in 2022, they would not have scored more than 1 point at the indoor and outdoor NCAA championship. The big schools didn't want Melissa, because in high school, she didn't run anywhere near as fast as she did in college. Her high school 100-meter PR was 12.03, which was good enough to win a Class 2A state championship in South Carolina. But that is a long way off from what rivals like Twanisha Terry and Sha'Carri Richardson were doing when they were in high school. When she got to college, she was fast, but nowhere near NCAA championship level at first. Then, all of a sudden, during the back half of her sophomore year, she found a second gear that nobody knew she had and ran 11:22 in the 100. That time was wind legal and already nearly a full second faster than what she did in high school. She dominated the Sun Belt Conference Championship as a sophomore, but we weren't paying attention because she didn't make an NCAA Championship final. But she was there at the meet a year before we would learn her name. As a junior in 2022, she cranked it up a notch, and in the 60-meter dash, dropped her times from 7:41 to 7.09. Simply put, that is not supposed to happen. And she went from not qualifying for the NCAA indoor meet at all to winning the whole thing the next year. And at that moment, she was no longer just the most improved sprinter we might have ever seen in college, but she was actually the best. Which is why her outdoor performances at the NCAAs in 2022 were disappointing. Cause she finished in the back of the race in the 100-meter final and was a non-factor in the 200. But immediately thereafter, at the USA Championships, she would do the unthinkable by running 10:82 wind legal and 10:69 wind assisted to break through as the American champion. You don't get to win an American title in the 100-meter dash if you are not a threat to win the World Championships. But for Melissa Jefferson, the journey matters just as much as the destination. She's continued to improve every step of the way, from a recruit that none of the big schools wanted to now becoming an American champion and an NCAA champion for that matter. She didn't win the World Championships, but she still made the final, and that was after a full collegiate season. And this is not the same thing that sprinters like Abby Steiner did, because unlike her, Melissa Jefferson was never supposed to be this good, I remind you. So she had to run all throughout the collegiate season with no weeks off. She hasn't broken 11 seconds yet in 2023, but that doesn't really matter because her past performances tell us that she is due for a big performance on the biggest of stages. They say that sprinting is all about running fast times, which might be true, but it's actually about running those fast times in the one race when you need to do it. Melissa Jefferson pulled that off last year when a lot of other sprinters did not, and we should expect her to do it a lot more. She is proof that it doesn't really matter if the big schools in the SEC or even the ACC don't pay attention to you in recruiting. And the NCAA success she had at Coastal Carolina scored points that I'm sure a bunch of those schools wish they could have had back. You can doubt Melissa Jefferson if you want to, because everybody loves a true underdog story, even if the underdog is already a champion.